Have you ever wondered how a spell would look like? Hi guys, and welcome to Trinket Corner. Today we are going to catch a spell in a bottle. The first thing you need to make a spell in a bottle is, well, a bottle. This holographic bag was a present from a friend of mine who I hope will never see this video, but from the moment I saw it, I knew I'm going to use it in some sort of crafting project. If you want to repeat what I did, you don't have to take the drastic measures I took with this bag. I'm sure you can find online holographic plastic film to use. Cut the film into small pieces and make sure they all will fit into the bottle. Because the neck of my bottle was rather long, I had to cut a couple of very long pieces to make sure the neck of the bottle is not staying empty. Then I took a bunch of glycerol or glycerin. It's colorless, odorless, non-toxic liquid that can be found basically in any drugstore. But most importantly, it is very thick. So the pieces of the film will be floating in it. I added several droplets of blue resin dye, some emerald green, and then blue and green again, until I'm happy with nice turquoise color. You can use acrylic paint or even food coloring. Then I added some color-shifting metallic pigments for nail art. The color I used is called teal to blue. Mix it thoroughly and it already looks like something magical. Pour the glycerol into the bottle, but make sure to leave some space for the film. Then push the pieces of film into the bottle. Help yourself with a barbecue stick or something long. You want to fill in the bottle, but you want to leave a little space for the pieces of film to sort of move around when you move the bottle. Then I poured the rest of the liquid to make sure the bottle is filled completely. I made too much of this glycerol liquid, but I didn't want to throw it away. So I took another small bottle and poured the liquid into this bottle. For the small bottle, I didn't use the transparent film I had. Instead, I poured bigger purple glitters. I sealed the cork with hot glue gun. Some parts of the glitter sunk down to the bottom of the bottle, and some of them stayed up near the cork, so it created this interesting magical look which I really liked. I used glue gun to seal the bigger bottle as well. Before using the glue gun, you want to clean the glycerol from the bottle because the hot glue will not stick if there is glycerin on the surface. Now we finally start decorating the bottle itself. I use air drying clay Fimo Light. I mix it with PVA glue and water. The process is quite sticky and unpleasant, but once you mix them properly, the substance is really easy to work with. Now, I had several decorative silicone molds designed for cake decorations, but I'm going to use them for the clay. And keep in mind, if you are using silicone mold for crafting projects, never put it back in the kitchen. Once you use it for crafting, that's it. There is no way back to the kitchen for these molds. Push the substance strongly into the mold so it gets all the details. Then gently remove the mold. I made several decorative parts and glued them onto the bottle with PVA glue. I don't use polymer clay for obvious reasons because I couldn't put the bottle into the oven, and I also do not work with polymer clay at this moment. I don't have appropriate oven and I don't want to use my kitchen oven for baking clay. To further exclude any possibility of glycerin leaking from the bottle, I covered the top with air drying clay. I purchased this brooch several months ago from local craft store. I just didn't like the gem in the middle, so I removed it and replaced with this astronomical sphere that I made from UV resin. If you are interested in how I made this sphere, I'm going to dedicate a separate video to that. So make sure to check my videos. While decorating the bottle, I'm also going to use this string of stars and blue gems. I purchased both of these in my craft store. I'm sure you can find something like that in your local craft store, or maybe you can use some pieces of old jewelry. You are actually free to be as creative as you want. To glue the pieces onto the bottle, I mainly use PVA because when it dries, it gets transparent. I glued a small piece of air drying clay PVA mixture onto the bottle. Then, while it's still soft, I pushed astronomical sphere into the clay. I push the stars into the clay to make the spot, and then I put a small dot of PVA glue to fix it in place while the clay is drying. I apply the blue gems the same way I applied the stars. I decided to add a little more decorative parts near the sphere in the middle of the bottle. Then I glued them from both sides using PVA. While the bottle is drying, I started making the top. I twisted several pieces of wire together, took a small crystal and placed it in the middle, played with it a little bit until I was happy with the result, and fixed everything with glue gun. I covered some wires with hot glue to make them thicker. I pushed the vines down from the crystal and painted them black. Then I pulled them back up and fixed in place with hot glue. I painted the whole thing except for the crystal with dark blue acrylic paint. I made another astronomical sphere from UV resin to cover the seam between the bottle and the top part I just made. Another good portion of hot glue and connect the top with the bottle. The upper part of the bottle will be blue and the rest of it will be gold, so as a base color for the top part, I used very dark blue, and as a base for the gold, I used brown. I work with a very small brush to make sure I don't paint the bottle itself. I now apply the final colors I chose. The top part of the bottle is covered with this nice turquoise color that actually is very close to the glycerol color inside the bottle. And every brown part I'm going to dry brush with gold metallic color. If I didn't apply brown and only applied gold, the details of these decorative parts would not show up. That's why we are using a darker base color to give more dimension to our decorative parts. There was a small part on the top of the bottle that ended up looking a little bit empty. I didn't want to add another gem, so I decided to fill it in with some glitter. I took gloss acrylic varnish and applied on it. While it was still wet, I poured some glitter onto the varnish. Then I added another generous layer of varnish and left this one to dry for 24 hours. I needed to hide several seams, so I took gold decorative ribbon and wrapped it around the places where I needed to hide the seams. As usual, I will put the links to all the products I used in the description box. I glued the ribbon on, and the bottle was ready. Now this is the final look. I think if a sorcerer or a magician wanted to preserve a spell in a bottle, this is how it would look. It looks much better when you shake the bottle and see the movement inside. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I see you soon in Trinket Corner.